What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you guys for tuning in, for watching and listening. I appreciate your appreciation of my bullshit. So, thank you guys. I appreciate every single one of you, and let's keep building this family, one love, one heart. We're in this together. So, what I want to talk about in this video is me moving out of my parents' house when I was 18. Because someone in the comments, sorry bro, I forgot who you were, but I think this will apply to a lot of people. You told me you're moving out, you're going to move out in February, so maybe I can make a video sharing some tips and stuff like that. And okay, well, no, I said it's a great topic. Because moving out of my parents' house when I was 18 was one of the best decisions this character known as Saeed has made in his short, brief existence on this planet in this dimension. So I'll tell you guys, why I moved out and how it worked out and blah, 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 right? So I moved out of my parents' house when I was 18, when I went to university. It was my first year going to university. And the university was only like 40 minutes away by bus from where I lived. But, so the first month of my going to university, I was commuting. I was taking the bus in and out, but I wasn't happy with that. My parents were, because, kids want the parents want the kids to be around. I wasn't. I was not, and I was going through like a very rebellious phase, and I was fighting with my parents a lot. I was not happy. So that first month that I spent commuting using the bus, September, I was looking for places nearby campus, and I came very, very close to renting a really, really shitty room, like a super shitty room. Like I don't know how to describe how shitty it is. Just very shitty. The house was very shitty. Dirty, disgusting, smelly, but I was fine with all of that because I just wanted to get the fuck out of my parents' house. To be 110% frank here, I wanted independence. I wanted freedom. I wanted to try out this world. I had this calling to adventure, if you will, and I didn't want to stay in my parents' house. I didn't. I was fine with everything. I was like, okay, I'll make my own food. I'll do my own laundry. I gotta get out. It's a calling to adventure. I have to do it. So I was looking for places, and because most places have already been taken, so it was harder to find a place around campus. But then you had these really shitty places that no one rented. And I was very close to renting it out. In fact, and I had money saved up because I used to work in a grocery store. So I saved up money. I worked in grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. I had a job all these 3 years, and I was saving up money. You're living with your parents, and I was saving up money. So I had enough money, plus student loans. So both of them came in together, and I actually had enough money to sustain myself. To actually rent out a room and sustain myself. Like, I don't even have to ask my parents, right? And that's what kind of, really, like, my parents were against it. They would use the excuse of you can't afford it, but if you can afford it, they can't really say no. They don't want you moving out, but they can't say no. So my parents couldn't really say no because I could afford it. I had to really squeeze myself, but I could afford it. And I had the student loans coming in, so I could afford it. So, where are we right now? Okay. So I was very close to renting out a room, a very small, shitty room. And again, words of shittiness cannot describe how shitty the room was. I remember chemistry lecture, and I'm about to call the lady and tell her, okay, I'm coming right now in half an hour, literally, like I'll be there in half an hour to rent out your room. That's it. Sign up the contract. I have the money with me, and let's do it, starting in October. But a few days ago, I had met up with 2 Syrian guys on campus, and it was very fucking bizarre how we met because I had like a Syrian thing at the time. I was, trying to identify, culture, blah, blah, blah. So I had like a Syrian flag here, and I was walking in campus, and these 2 guys look at the flag and they stopped me. And say, oh, you're Syrian? I say, yeah. And then we end up talking. So it was very bizarre. Like, it was a very random. I guess it was good that I wore that thing. Because it was, if I hadn't wore it, they never would have stopped me. And anyway, so we talked, blah, blah. They said, oh, we're looking for a place too. Cool. I took their number. They took my number. I never thought of it much. I really never thought of it much. So as I'm calling the lady with the shitty room, and I'm telling her, hey, like, I'm gonna take your place. I'm coming to take your place. I called her. Then right away, right after, I get a call from the Syrian guys that I met. One of them calls me, says, bro, we're looking for a place right now. And, you know, there's this apartment. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. Maybe if us three together, like him, the other guy, and me, can live in it, you know, it'll be cheap, all three of us. Two of us will be in the bedroom. One of us will be in the living room. We can just work it out. And I'm like, okay. And then I said, yes, let's fucking do it. I told him, let's do it. Then I called the lady right away. I told her, oh, I'm not taking your place anymore. And of course, she was pissed because I just called her, told her, I'm coming right now. And she couldn't believe that somebody would actually pay money for that room, for that house. Hopefully, they've done something about it. They gotta raise the standards. And some of these student housing, garbage. So, I ended up getting a room, or a 1-bedroom apartment with my 2 Syrian friends, and it was fun. I still am in touch with these guys, specifically one of them. I'm still in touch with them, and they're amazing guys. I love them. Now, I moved out in October to even though my parents didn't like it, they didn't want it, but they saw that I can afford it, and that's it. I'm a stubborn motherfucker, and I said, I'm moving. I need my freedom here. I want to be independent. My parents are holding me back too much. I need to be out of that nest. Period. The bird needs to be out of that nest. As simple as that. So, first thing first, to start with the simple things. You're a lazy teenager, right? You probably don't do your laundry. I'm talking about me also, but this probably applies to most of you guys. I didn't do my laundry, I didn't do my food, I didn't take care of myself, like I didn't even clean my room. It was all my mom doing it for me. So that's the first thing. It's very mundane, but the first obstacle that you're gonna face is taking care of your existence on this planet, in this dimension. Really, that's the first step. Oh shit, this person needs clothes, and all my fucking clothes are dirty, so I gotta go do laundry. Okay, so you're gonna just struggle to take care of basic needs of yourself. Food. This person needs food to sustain them. Now, if you want to go and eat out like I used to do, first of all, financially unsustainable, and that's what got me into starting to try and make my own food, because it's financially unsustainable. I was squeezing myself. We got a 1-bedroom apartment for like 700 bucks at the time. Even less, 650. Now prices are higher. This was back in 2009. So 650 divided between the 3 of us. So it was not much money I was paying. I was squeezing myself out of everything. The only reason I was taking that shitty room because I didn't have all that much money. So you're squeezing yourself. You start to eat out. First of all, it's unhealthy. But I didn't know any better at the time. But it's unhealthy. But why I started to know better? Because it was unsustainable financially. And this fucking human being here, this idiot that was in university in first year, that actually was more clueless than this idiot who's still clueless, but just slightly less clueless. That guy was super idiot though. That guy was like a next level idiot. That first year Saeed was a next level idiot. So he needed food to sustain himself, right? So that's tough now, because now you have to go out into grocery stores, and you're not used to that. I'm not used to that. The only times I went to grocery stores was to carry stuff for my dad or my mom. So, yeah, you're gonna have to start taking care of your food. So I was like doing burgers at the time, and I thought it was healthy, but really, you know, I was doing burgers. I was like buying like rice packs, you know, those rice packs, and making rice. And anyway, like I was getting by, you know, the best I could with whatever little knowledge and information I had at the time. So I was fine. It took me about a month to just be okay with doing laundry and food and just taking care of this human being, really. Now, the good thing that started happening out of this, because now, you know, I have to do everything myself, I start to become more active. Not by choice, not voluntarily, involuntarily. I don't have a car. I have to go to the grocery store, carry stuff, bring them to the house, do my laundry, clean up the apartment, right, that I was in with the other two guys. Clean it up because it got really fucking messy. Okay, I was a really dirty, messy guy in first year. We used to have, like, in the bathroom, we had the garbage can, and so this is the garbage can, right? And out of the garbage can, there's like a pyramid of fucking toilet paper, tissues. A pyramid, man. It was a running joke. And it was one guy that was doing the cleaning mostly, because me and the other guy were just fucking dirty bastards, really. Like, just completely unconscious. Just, I don't know. We're really weird. It was really weird, man. Really, really. But yeah, so it took me a little bit of time to adjust, and I just wanted to have fun first year. You know, I wanted to go meet girls, and I wanted to meet new friends, blah, blah, blah. So, but of course, engineering, they call it in they even tell you, you know, in Fresh Week, get ready to get fucked by the long dick of engineering or something. So engineering got me fucked really hard, right? And I just ended up spending most of my time studying and trying to meet chicks, which didn't go all too well, and trying to go clubbing on weekends and drinking and all of that. And that was first year, okay? So first year was just me dipping my feet in the water, because I still wasn't totally independent. I had my two roommates. I would go back home on weekends. I would go back home on weekends to get some food. So I still was somehow connected to my family, somehow connected to my parents. So first year wasn't totally that independent feeling. It was just dipping my feet in the water. Second year of university, my family moved out of the country. So no more family, and my roommates moved out, and I ended up taking over the apartment by myself. And at that time, I could afford it, and I had the student loans coming in, and I used my dad's help also financially. This time, I was completely on my own. Second year. And that's when shit started getting weird, man. That's when shit started getting weird. At this point, it's for granted, you know, making my own food, doing laundry, doing stuff. That became just a regular part of my existence. Now, I'm totally independent. I'm in the house by myself, because I would spend a lot of my time with my roommates, who were fun as hell. So now, family out of the country, a lone wolf. That's it, a lone wolf. And that year, I went into a depression, and I had a social anxiety, and I failed courses, and it was really bad. I think a separate video for that year would be very fit, because it was a really dark period of my life. Second year university and third year university were really dark periods of my life. And I think part of it is for the first time in my life, I had no distractions. And that really brought me to my attention. It brought to my attention that I fucking hate myself, that I'm insecure. And so, just to explain to you guys how bad things would be going on in my psyche, in second year university, I used to drink alcohol by myself in my apartment and fucking cry and feel sadness and how can I describe it? Self-pity. I used to pity myself. Really, I felt really, for the first time in my life, no more distractions, no roommates, no family, nothing. I was just, I get to my apartment, I'm like, oh shit, I'm alone here. I'm by myself here. And I would start to think about shit, and I would start to look in the mirror and say, fuck, like, oh man, you're a short guy. Oh man, like all this negative self-talk, right? Oh man, like, you know, you don't look good. You don't have anything going on. Blah blah blah. And yeah, that's when things really, like, those 2 years, separate video for them. But what I want to tell you is be prepared for that. If you're moving totally on your own, be prepared to face your mind. Be prepared to face your thoughts. Be prepared to face the darkness and the shadow that is lurking within you, that is constantly being suppressed by distractions, you know, people, friends, family, movies, TV shows, and blah, 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 blah. If you're moving on your own, be prepared for that. The other shit, the mundane shit, laundry, food, all of that, you'll get used to that in no time. That's not a problem. But this, really, you facing your greatest fears, you slaying your dragons, you coming face to face with what you fear the most, coming face to face with your insecurities, coming face to face with your own existence and having to question that. So it was those 2 years of depression that I started getting into philosophy, not personal development, mind you, but philosophy. I started to question life a little bit more. I read a lot of history, and I was just like starting to inquire about myself and about life. And with that inquiry came a lot of struggle, and a lot of insecurities bubbled up, and a lot of things happened in my childhood and my past come to haunt me and get in my way. So be prepared for that. I'm just giving you heads up right now. But so, of course, as the years went on, I started to gain confidence in myself. After all the depression and after all the insecurities and all of me having to deal with them and getting into personal development comes confidence. The lone wolf either dies or gets up and says, wow, I'm stronger. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. And says, all right, it's time for me to start a wolf pack. So here, it's another phone call. So I'm just going to decline it right now and finish up this video. So, where was I? Sorry, I got distracted by the phone call. Yeah, so I was talking about the lone wolf. And the lone wolf is either going to die because it doesn't have the tribe and the pack with them, or the lone wolf is going to find his way through this world and survive the cold, bitter winter and then come out really strong and saying, well, I'm ready now to be part of a pack, to start my own pack. And as the years went on, that's what sort of happened with me. And the nice thing is, because I had made that decision to move out of my parents' house, and because I became totally by myself, I had to face my demons. I had to slay my dragons. And this is why I am in front of you here talking with pretty much confidence and conviction and self-belief and knowing of who I am, because I have spent years and years and years having to dig deep and see who am I and what is this and what's going on here, and let's fix it here and let's build something new and let's uninstall, let's get rid of certain viruses here and install new software that is productive, that is loving, that is positive. So be prepared for that, because I think the moving out of your parents' house is very much the modern call to adventure in the modern world, is moving out of your parents' house and being on your own. I think that's, you know, the call to adventure in the modern world, in this modern civilization. It comes in that form for many of us. It certainly came for me. Because out of it, and maybe this will take months, it will take weeks, years, probably years, you will come out of it very powerful and very strong and very convicted in your existence, in yourself, because you know who you are and you've taken the time to contemplate that and comprehend it, and you took years and years before you said, oh wow, I'm this powerful eternal being. And actually I never was alone. I always had spirits, benevolent entities with me, helping me. And oh shit, this was part of my journey. All those years of depression and all these years of inquiry and all these years of feeling lonely and unloved and alone. Oh wow, they were such a necessary part of my character's development, right? Because, you know, you look at yourself as a character in a movie and you say, wow, that was nice. So I look back and then say that was one of the best things. There are a few things in my life I tell you guys very honestly that really were pivotal moments. I talked earlier or before in previous videos that one of the pivotal moments in my life was this 6-gram mushroom trip that gave me the sense of mission. Pivotal moment. If I'm looking at myself as a character, as a storyline, pivotal moment. Right there, pivotal moment. If I'm looking at me coming to Canada at age 13, pivotal moment in my character's development. And then I would look at me moving out of my parents' house when I was 18 and what followed, and I would say pivotal moment in my character's. If I'm looking at it completely objectively, like I'm not even Saeed, I'm just looking at this Saeed guy as a character, I'm like, okay, that was a pivotal moment. You moving out of your parents' house and being on your own. I certainly did it because I wanted the freedom, because I just wanted to think for myself, and I was always a rebellious kid since I was born. I was rebellious, just by nature. I think it runs in me or something. Maybe I have a rebellious soul. But I was always rebellious, and I just wanted to move. I wanted to think for myself. I wanted to be free. And that was my calling to adventure, and it was really, really difficult the first few years. In fact, you know, sometimes I would wish that I didn't. Sometimes I would wish that I could just go back home and get food and cry and just be there in safety. Because when you're by yourself, you feel like you're not safe. You know, when you're at home, you feel this sense of comfort and safety. When you're by yourself, like, fuck. And always having to balance your finances too. I mean, I've become pretty good at that by now because I've been doing that since I was 18. You know, my dad helped me the first 3 years, the first 3 years of when I moved out. Well, the first year not really, but the second and third. And then after that, I just sort of completely gone on my own financially. So that's another thing. You'll start to know how to navigate your way through this world. Financially, if you need, you know how to get money, you know how to do this, you know how to do that. And that's necessary, man. The bird has to leave the nest, okay? The bird has to leave the nest. This, you know, for me, it was necessary, but I think for a lot of you guys, for a lot of people, man, you know, the bird's gotta leave the nest. Come on. Otherwise, you know, the bird's gonna fucking be smothered, and then the mother or the father, it's gonna die. The bird doesn't even know how to get food anymore. It doesn't know how to do shit in this world. So their existence in this dimension is highly compromised. And their chances of surviving and thriving are minimized. In the same way, if you want to increase your chances of surviving and thriving in this dimension, it's maybe time to start thinking, okay, I gotta be on my own here. You know? But anyway, I don't want to tell you guys because I already corrupt the minds of the youth enough with my rants and talks about challenging authority and all of that. So I don't want to corrupt the minds of the youth any further and say, go and move out of your parents' house. I just simply share my experience in this video and why, if I hadn't done that, then multiverse, we live in the multiverse, right? Then the version of Saeed right now would be completely different than the version that is pretty fucking happy with who he is and how he's becoming, and is sharing his ideas with the world. I wouldn't be sharing my ideas with the world right now. It would have been a completely different part of the multiverse. I would have been in that part of the multiverse where I'm dependent on other people and I have this sense of entitlement and I'm kind of scared of the world, you know, and I don't have this, I don't have courage to do things for myself and speak for myself. Definitely would have been a completely different part of the multiverse. So my experience, good luck, bro, who told me you're moving in February. Good luck to anyone who's trying to do the same thing. Everyone has different circumstances. I mean, maybe you're in a circumstance right now where, who knows, maybe your parents are disabled and you need to be there for them. So it's all circumstance based, right? I don't want to just tell, oh, everybody has to do it, because it's all circumstance based. I think for a lot of us, we're just scared. Let's be fucking honest with each other here. For like maybe 70-80% of us, we're just scared to leave the comfort of the bird nest, the comfort and just the sense of I'm comfortable here and I'm secure. And then maybe there's that 20% where they have really difficult, challenging circumstances where they need to stay there right now. Who knows? I'm just throwing numbers out there. But if you're just scared, be honest with yourself. Time to start thinking, okay, I gotta take care of myself in this world. That's it. I love you guys. I love every single one of you. Good luck on your journey. Each one of us has a different journey, but we're all the same essence. We're this loving essence. So I love you guys. I wish you all the best and happiness and joy infinite joy and bliss. And as always, don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.